Alrighty, hey family, I'm back today with the next herb that I said I was going to bring to you. And this particular herb is awesome. Okay, for right now, what we're going through, you definitely need to get some of this. I hope it's not backwards. Okay, this is Yerba Santa. Okay, it is also called bear's weed, mountain balm, gum plant, consumptive weed, and tarweed. Okay, now this particular herb, so like I did before and pour it out. Not sure if you can see that there. All right, this is Yerba Santa. It reminds me a lot of bladderwrack. Okay, if you're not familiar with that herb, it is a wonderful herb. I'm going to bring that on one day and talk about it, but today's feature is Yerba Santa. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my wonderful little tea kettle that I got right here with my little basket and everything. And of course, I'm going to leave links below so you can know where to go get these things. But let's go ahead and talk about the medicinal properties here of the Yerba Santa. Okay, because the Yerba Santa is a miracle, especially in times such as these. Now, this particular herb will help with asthma, bronchitis, tuberculosis, even if you're dealing with rheumatism, you will find relief with this herb. Now, Yerba Santa is from the Spanish language, I believe, and translated into English, I believe it means herb saint. Now, it's from the desert. Those who are in the Southwest may be familiar with it. It does come from the desert mountains of the Southwest, okay? And it has these like gray, white miniature trumpet flowers on it, okay? And the Spanish community, they call this thing a life-saving lung herb. You hear me? Yes, a life-saving lung herb. Now, let me tell you why they say that. Because this herb is wonderful for asthma attacks, and it is an all-star expectorant of the lungs. It removes fluid from the lungs and returns the lungs to their normal function. Okay? Now, yes, you heard me right. It removes fluid from the lungs. And right now, with the COVID-19, we know that it attacks the lungs, and that the reason why there is such a need for respirators is because the lungs are filling with fluid, and so the oxygen cannot get to the lung. And this is the reason why they incubate with the ventilator to bring oxygen to the lungs. So we don't want to get to that point, right? We want to go ahead and get ourselves some Yerba Santa and become religious with it. Now, let me tell you, this thing deals with bronchitis, okay? It helps to deal with tuberculosis. Those with COPD will find relief. And how you would do that is either you would go ahead and make a deconcoction like I'm about to demonstrate here, or you can go ahead and get the extract, and it's taken internally at about 40 to 80 drops per day, or 40 to 80 drops per hour, depending on the seriousness or the severity of the situation. Now, once a person gets to a point where they're having major issues with breathing or shortness of breath, we definitely want to go ahead and be proactive about getting that mucus and or fluid out of the lungs. So to do that, to be the quickest way, okay, would definitely be with the extract. We would go ahead and put about 40 drops. We would open 100 or 400 IUs of vitamin E. Go ahead and mix that with it, and we will rub this on the areas of the chest and the upper back, okay? We can also go ahead and soak a layer of gauze or cheesecloth with the Yerba Center extract and lay one layer on the chest, and then we'll lay one layer over the upper back, and then cover that with this plastic wrap. Okay, and then after that, you want to put a t-shirt on, and then after that, you want to go ahead and put a doggone garbage bag on when you go to sleep, right? Because this thing is going to sweat, and we know that this virus cannot survive in heat, in high levels of heat. So we want to go ahead and sweat the body, and also this will assist in breaking down that mucus as it is removed from the lungs, thereby helping one to be able to breathe and get in that oxygen that is so desperately needed. Because we do know with the depletion of oxygen from the lungs also is depletion of oxygen from the brain. Okay, the brain is central command. If the brain is not doing what it needs to do, I don't need to say nothing else. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get this yerba center here and put it in the teapot. Okay, like I said in my last video, you can always use the little tea balls, which we do have those around here. Okay, and I'm going to definitely make sure that I put that information in the description for you so you can go ahead and get your little tea balls if you need to do that. So, as I'm going ahead and doing this, I'm going to continue to talk about the Yerba Santa. So the Yerba Santa, okay, is something that you can go ahead and be taking now, so that you can make sure that the lungs can be able to move the fluid out of them should that process ever start to go down. Okay, we don't want that to happen, but if indeed it does, Yerba Center is definitely what we want to take advantage of. Now, this isn't a bark, right? And so, since this isn't a bark, you don't have to steep it as long as you would be steeping the barks. Okay, this can steep for about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Okay, and if you were doing this by the cup, it would be a teaspoon to a cup of water. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue to talk about this. So like I was saying, if someone has an issue and they're suffering from the issues that COVID is causing in the lungs, you want to go ahead and get the extract, okay? Or you can go ahead and make as strong as a deconcoction that you can. Soak that in the gauze. We want to put that over the chest and over the upper back, okay? Over the chest and over the upper back. But like I said, that extract is going to be the better route to go, so it can get soaked into the skin a lot quicker with that vitamin E. Then you're going to go ahead and wrap it with some saran wrap, sandwich wrap, whatever you want to call it, nice and good to hold it in place. And then you want to put a t-shirt over it. You can do that during the day. Okay, now at night you want to go ahead and put that garbage bag over, you hear me, and go to bed. Okay, wrap up, go to bed, let it sweat out. Now, every day, you want to go ahead and take all of this off and change this. You want to make sure to clean the skin thoroughly, allow it to completely dry before applying another application. How often should I be doing this, you ask? Until those lungs are clear and you can breathe without having to stress, okay? And when you do breathe, you feel those lungs expand. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm definitely not a doctor. What I am is a naturalist, okay? I study these herbs, and everything that they have now in the pharmaceutical company came from something like this that they could not patent. Right? So they went ahead and mixed it with some other stuff that don't treat the problem, but the symptom. Now, mind you, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay? Not treating the problem because, hey, they don't even know how to treat the problem with COVID. But we do know that the problem it causes is fluid in the lungs, and this will remove fluid from the lungs. Not only will it remove fluid and mucus from the lungs, it will also do this from the brain. Okay, if you're familiar with that condition, it's called encephalitis, right? So don't take my word for it. Do your research, okay? I think this would also be beneficial to go ahead and steep and lean over and breathe. I think it would be a wonderful remedy for something like that, along with the poultice that you are making and putting on the body. Now, in applying this, okay, you want to change the application morning and night if this is done. Okay, during the sweating out period, you want to make sure to give the person yarrow tea. I'm going to bring that on and talk about the yarrow tea. okay, as well as the oil of cajun and how we can use that as an herbal adjustment along with this wonderful herb and what it does to be able to go ahead and really fight this thing, okay? So right now I wanted to bring this to you because this will also help those who are having asthma issues to breathe easier. And I know I done said it like umpteen times in this video, but it removes fluid from the lungs, family. Life-giving oxygen back to the lungs. And all of these people are going on ventilators because the lungs have fluid in them. Okay? I meant to turn off my ringer. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to do this video again because I really want to get it out here. So I got to get it out here. So go ahead and leave that. As you can see, I don't know, can you see? Starting to take on the color of that. But me, although I'm gonna let this sit for like 5 or 10 minutes, I'll let it sit for about 15 minutes and steep before I go ahead and drink it. A lot of times I'll leave it in longer than that, let it get warm, and this thing will have turned a deep brown color like I did for my black cohosh, which I will show you. Here's my black cohosh. Remember, it wasn't that dark when I did my last video. You know, I don't know if you can really see this. I have like such a ghetto rig right now. You know, I am not set up to do any videos or anything like that. But this is the black cohosh. See how dark that is? I ended up letting it sit for about an hour, maybe almost 2 hours. It was lukewarm. Then I transferred it to my wonderful mason jar that I had already went ahead and made sure that it was clean, disinfected, boiled and everything, and I put it in here and I put it in the refrigerator. This is what I do with all of my herbs so that I can go ahead and drink on them. Put it in a little, you know, pot, warm it up, go ahead and drink it. Another thing, do not, I repeat, do not put these things in the microwave. If you even still have a microwave in your home, I would recommend, since we all at home and, you know, got nothing to get rid of that thing. It is a cancer machine. Get rid of it. Do not put anything in it and irradiate it and think that it is going to go into your body and heal it. It's not going to do that. Okay? If anything, that's just counterproductive to what we're trying to do here. So I said I wasn't going to keep this video long. I want it to be under 10 minutes. Here it is, 12 minutes. So I'm going to get on out of here, family. It's Yerba. It removes fluid from the lungs and the brain. Okay? Not just fluid, also mucus. Okay? It also reduces fever. Yes, it reduces fever. I forgot to mention that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that. I love you. I hope everyone is being safe. And I'll be back at y'all with another herb. All right. Bye. Yeah, my MacBook, honey. I said I'm real low budget. Okay.